Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to see about DDL, DML, DCL and TCL statements in SQL. So before entering into the video, if you are visiting my channel first time, click the subscribe my channel and don't forget to click the bell symbol. So let us go enter into the video. So what is DDL, DML and DCL and TCL? These are all called commands which are basically used in SQL statement. So these commands are very important for using SQL statements. So how this is going to be differentiated from one to another, that difference we are going to see in this video. So first one is DDL, data definition language. So you can understand that data definition. So what is data definition? What does mean by definition? What is data? We are giving the clear definition about it is called data definition. So what is the data? What is it is data type? So how much data is going to be stored? How long it is going to be used? So all the information about the data we are giving in data definition language. So statements used to create, alter, drop database objects is called data definition language. So what is create? So create is used to define a new object called table or a view. Create is used to create a new table or a view. And then alter is used to modify the already existing table or view. So what is the table information already available, that details are going to be altered in a alter query. So for example, we have changed the data type of a column, so that is called alter. So drop is used to remove existing entity. So drop is used to remove the already existing table. And then truncate is used to remove all rows from a table. So truncate is going to be remove all the rows from a table, and drop is going to be remove a table. So what is the difference is, drop is used to delete a table and truncate is going to be delete only the rows. So while using the drop query, the table is going to be deleted. We cannot retrieve the table. So when using the truncate query, the rows only going to be deleted. The table is not going to be deleted. So that is the difference between drop and then truncate. So next we are going to see about DML, data manipulation language. So how we are going to be interact with the data is called data manipulation. So how we are going to be interact with the data is using the select query, insert query, update and then remove query. We are going to interact with the data. So that is statements used to select, insert, update, remove and manage database object is called data manipulation language. So first one is we are going to see about select query. So select query is used to select one or more rows and columns from a table. We are going to be selecting a data what is already present in our database or a table or a view. That is we are going to be selected. So you have to clearly understand that you are not going to be selecting what data you are going to be giving or what data is going to be stored in our table. That is not we are going to be selecting here. We are selecting what is the data already present in your table or a database. Next one is insert. Insert query is used to insert a new rows or column data. So what is the insert? So difference is, creating a table is we are creating a table, new table. So that time only we are giving the column information and all. So here is inserting. So we are going to insert a data. So for creating we are giving a column name. Here we are going to insert a data for that column. So what is difference? So So column is for creating a column is one time process, but inserting into a column is many time process. So how many data we are going to insert, based on that the insert query will be repeatedly called. So then update is also be used in already stored data. So update we cannot use for a new data. What is the data already stored in our table? For that data only we can use for update query. So what is the data already inserted or stored in our table? So in that data, if we want to change the any information, at that time we can use update query. So for example, if you have used your mobile number in your table, so after few months you are going to be changing your mobile number. If you want to update in that just only your mobile number, so based on your some any register number or roll number or your name, based on that we are going to select the data. In for that particular data only we are going to update the mobile number. So for that reason update is used. So update can be used for a particular data or for all the data. That is based on the query. So for discussing with the query, we will see this each queries one by one in separate videos. That is separate part. Just you understand what are the queries used here. So next we are going to use remove. So remove is used to remove the already existing data. What is the data present in our table? That data is going to be removed. So next one is delete. So delete is used to delete the one or more rows in a table. So delete in the sense that delete will work with particular row or particular column or with table also. We can delete a particular row, we can delete a particular column, or we can delete entire table. So based on that delete will work. So next we are going to see about DCL, data control language. How we are controlling our data. So what is the control? Control is accessing permission. So that is called control. So for particular data we have access. So only particular person will have access. For in any situation we have to give access or permission to another person. So for at that time the data control language will be used. So what is data control language? Statements used to control access of data stored in database and provide data security. So for providing data security only we have data control language. So first one is grant. Grants permission on securable to a principal. So it gives permission with secure permission to a particular person. Next one is revoke. Revoke removes a previously granted or denied permission. So revoke in the sense we can provide a permission or we can deny a permission. We have two options. So either we have granted or denied a permission, we can remove that process, remove that control. For that we are using a revoke. Next one is execute as statement. It sets the execution context of a session. How many data, how many sentences is going to be executed for a particular context or a particular session, that is given in execute as statement. Next one is execute as class. So define the execution context of the defined modules, functions, procedures, queues and triggers. It defines the execution of the context, how it is going to be executed. That is going to be defined in execute as class. Next one is revert. Switches the execution context back to the caller of the last execute as statement. So execute as statement is used from a particular person and it is given to another person. So that permission is again reverted to the first person is called revert. Next one is transaction control language. So statements used to manage the changes made by the DML statements. Only on particular all the transaction we are using the transaction control language. So what is the special in transaction control? In the sense, we have three transaction controls called begin transaction, commit transaction, and then rollback transaction. These three transactions are grouply working together, or if any one transaction is not worked, not used, the whole transaction is declined. That is called transaction. So first is begin transaction. Starts the local transaction by incrementing transaction count by 1. Begin transaction is the purpose of starting the transaction. Next one is commit transaction, makes end of the transaction. So commit transaction in the sense, when the commit transaction will work, in the sense, when transaction is over, commit transaction query will be executed. Next one is rollback transaction. Roll back to the beginning of the transaction. It roll backs to the begin transaction. So this for example we can use this for transaction bank transaction. So for bank transaction particular session we have begin transaction. That query is we are going to executing. So when the begin transaction is executed, transaction is going to be started. So when every transaction is over, commit transaction will be executed. Otherwise, if we have executed the commit transaction, the transaction is closed. So after and then we have to wait for up to when the begin transaction is executed by the user. For up to that the user has to wait. Next one is save transaction. Sets the save point within a transaction. It sets the save point within a transaction where the save point is to be stored. That is here is given in save transaction. So that's all about DDL, DML, and then DCL and then TCL statements in SQL. So thank you friends, thank you for watching this video. If you have any doubt in this video, type your query